Think you got it, Romy?
Yeah, but I'm cheating because I also chose it.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey everyone, welcome to WitchSlapped, the PopWire AfterShow for SYFY's revival. I'm Rowell.
I'm Christina.
I'm Dani.
We, all three of us, are so excited to have on Romy Weltman. Romy, how are you doing today?
I'm so excited to meet you all. I'm such a fan, and thank you so much for all the support on the show. Seriously, it means the world.
No, you have like no idea how excited we are. Yeah, as you've seen from our previous WitchSlapped episodes, you are always, our performer of the episode, killing it. So thank you for taking the time and yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh, thank you guys for having me. I'm so excited to chat with you.
Yeah, thank you.
Christina, will you tell us about episode 7?
Yeah, so episode 7 is called Too Many Secrets, and it's described as this. So martial law grips Wassa as Dana and Wayne uncover a conspiracy more personal than imagined. And it was written by my friend Noel Carbone. What's up, Noel? Haven't seen you in a while. Miss you. And directed by Samir Rahim. And yeah, it was fantastic.
We are going to play Who Said It. Rowell, you're going to kick this off for us, but basically Rowell is going to give us a quote that he pulled from this episode, and then we'll give the audience a couple minutes to type their answer in the comment section below, and then we will give our answers, and we'll see who gets it right.
I really hope I get these right, or
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Okay. All right. So my quote is, I will find a way to fix her.
oh,
Okay, I think has everyone got it? Yeah.
No.
Already know. Okay. If you know, everyone watching, pause it, put in the description, the comments, and then
I think I just got it.
you got it. Okay.
I think so, yeah. Okay.
All right. So on 3, tell me who it is, and then I'll tell you why I chose that quote. 1, 2, 3.
Ibrahim.
Yes. Okay. So yes, that was said in the beginning by Ibrahim, played by Andy McQueen. This was outside of the warehouse when Dana and M escape. And he tells Dana that he thinks that M is going to die, and then Dana says that's impossible. Revivers can't die. And I thought that was like she just is telling everybody that M it's a reviver. But she even tells May Tao at her house. Right. But the reason why I chose that quote is I I don't know, it just struck me that, he's just a really good guy, and I love that he's always trying to help, the Cypresses, and, I just love that moment, and I don't know, because okay, I don't wanna get deep, but there are
No, get deep.
a lot I feel broken, so when I hear someone say that, someone will try to fix another person, I just think that that's so sweet of someone to do, so, yeah, I will find a way to fix her. That's, my who said it for this episode.
No, that's really beautiful, Rowell. Thank you for sharing that.
I do love that you brought up how Ibrahim's always trying to help the Cypresses. And I think I said once upon a time that we could all learn how to love from Ibrahim because I think that he shows us how to love unconditionally.
You say Evie? I love that nickname. Evie?
I said Ibrahim. I think I stopped, but I think we could start that. Evie's kind of cute.
Evie's adore.
Ask Andy how he feels about that this week.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to our favorite parts of the episode. Christina, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, so my favorite part was actually at the end of the episode, when M and Dana are reunited. I think the sister relationship is the real heartbeat of the show. So anytime you guys are on screen together, I feel like it's always the highlight of the episode.
You want to know a very funny story from that day?
All it.
Mel spoke about it on a little promotional video that's on SYFY's page, but I got really excited, and I don't always realize that I can get a bit of love aggressive. I can get aggressive when I love people, and I just one take run and jumped and smacked her jaw and all you hear is like a, and I was like, but she didn't laugh. So I was like, I'm going to stay in it. And we both stayed in it, and they yelled cut, and they were like, we're not going to use that. And both of us looked at each other, are you okay? And I think she was more worried about my head, but I was more like, if I just ruined Mel's teeth and she's got to go to the dentist and I just ruined 4 days of filming and I ruined Mel's teeth and I hurt Mel, this is going to be a really bad day. But of course, Mel was more worried about me, worried about her. Had to share that though, because every time I see that, I'm like, oof.
Oh my God. All right. Rowell, what is your favorite moment?
Okay, so my favorite scene from the episode is when Dana and her dad Wayne, they are in the house and they have the two cops outside, and Dana comes up with a plan to, distract them or whichever, and they have a pretend fight. And Dana says, "I'm gonna kick your ass, old man." And then Wayne says,
Make your move, bitch!
I just laughed so loud when he said that. And, and then he says, "I wish you were never born." And Dana says, "That's gonna come out of therapy." Says, "Well, I don't do therapy, but you go ahead." And then as she's leaving the house, after she tases, one of the cops, and then the dad punches the other one, she says, "Hey, Dad, we make a good team." So I like that, I think in the beginning they were kind of like not as friendly, but then during the dining room scene, they started to connect more. And I thought that scene was so fun. And also Melanie is a great screamer when she shot that gun, and yeah. So that was my favorite moment. I laughed a lot.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite scenes, so I'm glad that you brought it up. Just hilarious. So my second favorite scene in the episode is actually between M and Ibrahim. And this is when they're in the forest and he's helping her get to the creek, the Moore Creek. And they take a break for a minute because M is like really struggling. And I don't know, M starts expressing how she's sort of lost herself. Before becoming a reviver, she knew who she was. She didn't necessarily like her life. She wasn't necessarily happy with where she was, but she knew who she was. And now, everything has changed. And she's going through something what Ibrahim describes as unprecedented, which is absolutely true. And it's just a really touching moment between the two characters. They haven't had a lot of alone time together, and to see Ibrahim sort of step in and almost take on like a, maybe not paternal, but a friend role, right? And he's like really sort of helping her. He's softly kind of nudging her into figuring out what exactly she wants and who she is. And he like talks about like the cure, if he's able to make one, like, will she want it? If not, then you kind of have your answer, right? And she chooses no, like, that's not what I want for myself. So yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite scenes, other than the one that Rowell said. And then Romy, do you have a favorite scene?
Does this mean it's my turn? I had a feeling you were going to say that because I know that you're a big Ibrahim fan, and the lie that must be the scientist in you always makes me smile because I know people whose brains work like that. Not my own, to be honest. My brain is not logical. It's very creative. My dad and my sister are very logical, so that line always made me think of them. Rowell, we have more in common than just our names. I chose the same scene. I love that scene. I think it is so funny. I think it's also just very needed amongst the Cypress family in terms of seeing us team up with our dad, seeing Dana with her dad and just seeing them get along, and also kind of him letting her take charge of the situation, I think is huge, and I think something that she really needs. But I also did choose a second one because I've seen that you guys sometimes have the same one. So I brought some backups, but I also loved the scene with Dana and Randy and him saying that he thought his name was John Doe. He's like, I thought that was a real name. And I forgot how funny that scene was. I was howling the entire time. So those are two much needed comedic moments in the episode.
I like how the writers do such a good job of balancing the dark times and the serious moments with those little bits of funny moments just sprinkled throughout the episodes just to lighten it up a bit.
100%.
We are going to do another Who Said It. Christina, this is yours.
All right. So mine is just a short, sweet one, but it's talking doesn't bring back the dead. Okay. Royal, you look confused.
I have no idea.
You think you have it, Dani?
I'm actually proud of myself because I usually, I haven't been getting them lately. But I got this one.
All right. Think you got it, Romy?
Yeah, but I'm cheating because I also chose it.
Oh. I have another one. I can use
I
it.
have another one for that exact reason. Don't worry. I picked.
Okay. You do the same thing. Okay. Then, why don't we let Dani go ahead and guess then?
It is Sheriff Wayne Cypress.
You are correct. It is when he's talking to Dana about the black. And I feel like that line just carries a lot for a lot of people in general. Like, no, it doesn't bring back the dead, but talking can also do so much good and healing as well.
I think also that line is just kind of sums up Wayne in a nutshell. And I think it gives the audience such a perspective of why he's so angry and sad. And it's because he hasn't been able to talk about the past. And when it's brought up about Patty as well, you can see the real pain in his eyes. So I loved that line just because I think it really humanizes Wayne, and I think it makes him relatable because I think a lot of people don't know how to talk about painful things.
All right, so we got to see a really vulnerable side of Wayne in this episode. And for the first time, he's like actually admitting that he has completely pushed away his daughters. And it probably started with the death of Patty. Although, I don't know, there's been some conversations around Wayne that makes it sound like he's always been kind of a hard ass. But being able to see him finally admit that, like, yes, this is my fault. There's a reason why Anne didn't tell me that she died. There's a reason why Dana hasn't told me. And now we're seeing him sort of own up to that a bit more, which I think is really important for his character arc. I think this was a good episode for Wayne for sure. All right, so now we're going to talk about big moments and theories that we have. Christina, why don't you start?
All right, so I've got two big moments. And the first one is when Blaine is showing Tyler that video of, I believe, Wanda, the reviver, who is something's happening with, we can only assume, the passenger. And it's just so different from the last episode when we see Jordan willingly go to the passenger and it's so calm and peaceful. And then in this episode, we see it, scary side, I'm assuming, and that it can be used as a weapon, and that's exactly how Blaine intends to use it. But not just to get the revivers out of the town, but also to, win back his good name or something along those lines. And I think that shows a lot about the person he is and that he's doing a lot just for his reputation.
Yeah, can I add something to that?
Absolutely.
Did you guys notice that Wanda was yelling, "It's not mine, it's not mine"?
Mm-hmm.
And like my thought was like, we saw Jordan with the creature, the passenger as you're calling it, and like she felt safe, she felt okay to approach it, like there was an understanding. And then you have Wanda with one, and it's like, no, it's like something's going wrong. So that's really interesting. I can't wait to figure out what is actually happening there. Like, does each reviver have their own creature? What does that mean? Yeah, very cool.
I would say, and my other big one was right at the end when we find out everything that's going on with Jesse Blackdeer, and that whoever killed Rose and Jesse also killed M. And I feel like that just kind of sets up the last few episodes of the season for the direction to go in. And it's just so fun to bring back this case that was brought up, I believe, in the premiere even. And to not know what it was and to just get little sprinklings of it throughout the series. And now we're going to kind of dive into that.
Yeah, if I could just piggyback off that a little bit, one of the big moments I wanted to talk about is that, basically. And I'm thinking that it could be way off, but I'm thinking that now that we know that whoever killed Rose also killed M, I'm thinking about how Aaron is also involved, and there must be some sort of like cult or a group of people that is like, using some sort of ritual to maybe summon these creatures that we've seen. And Aaron was wanting to do it, maybe to save his wife's life. And then something else happened, right? Instead of the intended purpose of helping his wife, they ended up resurrecting a whole bunch of people. I don't know. That's kind of my theory at the moment.
I like that.
I just want it on the record that I'm keeping a very straight face for the like that. I'm really enjoying what I'm hearing though, and I do want to say that one of my favorite theories for a very long time, I can't remember whose theory it was, but I saw it, that Blaine was the passenger. I loved that theory. It was one of yours, I believe, right?
I don't remember.
From early episodes. I loved it though. I really think it was one of yours. I hope I was right, but I loved that theory, and I love all of these theories. Maybe they're very right, maybe they're very wrong. I had my mom grilling me last night with.
I love that.
And Aaron did say that in episode 10 we will find out who the killer is. So that
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. So I can't wait to, if it is their mom, if it is, oh my God, if the mom somehow comes back and somehow that would be like trippy, I think. You know what I mean? I don't know. And I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe.
so you're thinking Patty?
Yeah, maybe Patty knew, like, if Romy died during this period, that Romy wouldn't be so fracked because she probably knew that the revival was, you know what I mean? So Patty probably wanted to make Romy like stronger by killing her.
Oh, interesting.
The mom pops up somehow, it is sci-fi. I don't know. But I think that would be a crazy theory if
It's getting better and better. I love it. Love it. Big moments. I have a couple also. I think that one would be Wayne and Dana just chatting and her kind of saying, I know a good father, no thanks to you, and him owning up and kind of saying, I've done everything with the best intentions and I haven't done everything right, but I own it. I think it was really interesting seeing a lot of the similarities between Dana and Wayne. You recognize, like, even them responding to each other, they say a few of the same comments a few times. And I just think it's pretty big growth for their relationship, and the fact that they're working as a team and not against each other right now, and kind of shows that they kind of only have each other left out of their whole department at this point. So they have no choice but to be together. And then I think Wayne finding out that M is a reviver is a pretty big point, because basically everything that he's done up until this point is now going to come back and haunt him big time, and it's going to be held against him. If not, it already has been throughout this episode. And then, of course, I got to go with the Jesse Blackdeer case. We finally have some answers. I've had a lot of people ask me, like, did I miss something or is it coming? And I've said it's coming, and I'm happy that it's here. And I think that people are going to learn a lot about the Blackdeer case and about Dana and about how these are all tied together over the next bit. And I think it'll answer a lot of questions.
Who you got me thinking. Dana seems to be really attached to the Blackdeer case. And now I'm wondering, like, is she attached to it because it's the case that, obviously it happened in her home? Like, maybe it was the first case she couldn't really crack, or does she actually have like a personal tie to it? I know you probably can't answer that, but yeah.
I'll say this much because I think it's mentioned a lot throughout the season, so I think I'm okay to say it. But people do constantly throw that she fumbled the Blackdeer case in her face. And I think that was a big part as to why she also wanted to leave, because it was being held against her for so long. Anything else? Great points. I don't have any answers. I do think that it's a big part of her past with Wausau and feeling stuck there a bit.
All right, so now we're going to go into our Caption This submissions. Let's take a look. All right, and that was our caption this submission. Be sure to follow PopWire on all social media platforms. Our handle is at PopWireNet. Each week, SYFY releases photos from the episode. We're going to post it up, and then you can put your caption this in the comments below that photo, and then we will put it in WitchSlapped that week.
Do it.
All right, so now we're moving on to My Who Said It. All right, so My Who Said It is Screw being normal. Rowell, how you doing over there?
I don't know.
I need to call you out.
Wait, it sounds familiar. I think I might have it. I think I am. Okay. Should I
Okay.
say?
On 3?
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
M.
Mhm.
Yep, it was him. So I pulled this from, again, one of my favorite scenes between Ibrahim and M. I love this quote because not only is M embracing who she's become, but I just think it's a good fucking quote for everybody to embrace, right? Like, screw being normal. Who wants to be normal? We're all different. I mean, there's a lot of similarities across human beings, but what makes us different? That's like the really beautiful parts. And yeah, so I really enjoy M's journey throughout this series, and this scene for me was just like, yes, I love to see someone embracing themselves. I love seeing someone figure out what their purpose is, who they are, and yeah, so that was my quote.
I want that quote on a shirt or a bumper sticker or something.
Yes.
That quote, it reminded me, I don't know if you guys ever watched Halloween Town on Disney Channel, but yes, Aggie Cromwell's being normal is vastly overrated. Which is Abby Cromwell's Debbie Reynolds, who is, Hollywood treasure. But anyway, that I try to live my life by that quote, and I was a little kid when that came out, so I feel like that, like, screw being normal just really, for me, resonated with the Halloween Town in me. Like,
Kind of reminds me of be weird. Like, those are words I really like to live by. Of weird. Like, life is way too short to not embrace your own weirdness and fun. And I agree. And I also do think it could have been a quote that I used, but I just want to piggyback on it, that I love the quote from that scene of not all monsters are bad.
that was another one I had pulled up.
Yeah, me too.
He is essentially talking about herself after everything that she just did, and feels like a monster. And the way that Andy just is performing that entire scene, it's hard not to feel passionate about what you're talking about and feel good about yourself as anybody speaking to Andy. He's really awesome.
Back to the other quote. I used to have a shirt that said, "You laugh at me because I'm different. I laugh at you because you're all the same."
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
You have Fruit Loop in a world full of Cheerios.
Yes.
Ooh, that's another good one.
Oh, as in, I did have a random question. So, we were all talking about that scene with M and Ibrahim, and I think it was Luke that said that, Romy, you have a skill of like having the perfect tear come down. What's your like process of how do you do that? Like what?
I'm so honored that Luke has said that, and Aaron has said it before too. And I'm like, I don't know. I wish I had an answer. I wish I had a superpower. It's just, I think, luck of the moment. And also I think just kind of, this is where maybe music is kind of a bit triggering for me. I tap into music a lot for any character, but was very big. And sometimes in this specific song, there's maybe a lyric that reminds me of a line. And I often write that on my script. So sometimes maybe if that one word just oddly connects to that one line of music that I'm associating with the scene, then sometimes that one line will just naturally always trigger the same emotion from me. But I wish I had a cooler answer, but I kind of think that's it. I think it's just association and just natural triggers.
Really good. Yeah, it's not just you, it's like the whole cast too seems to have the ability. I think it was Aaron who said it, who has all of you have the ability to just do that one single tear. And it's so emotional, and like to capture it on film and with the lighting and the music and everything, that it's like the way it's edited, it's so powerful.
I do want to also credit our amazing writing team too, though, because you've all mentioned it before, but our writing is absurdly good. It is. I've never connected so much to a piece of work that I've been given on paper. And I just think like the words on paper are so, so good that it's so easy to access these emotions that Aaron and Luke are constantly giving us credit for as well, that we are doing such a good job, but it's because of the words that they give us too. And and in the sci-fi Cypress world of what we're all discussing and talking about, it's hard not to feel that heavy emotion sometimes when it's so sensitive too and personal and all of the feelings. But our team, our writers are just incredible. So as much credit as they give us, we've got to give them too.
We're going to do performer of the episode. Rowell, who is your favorite performer?
Okay, well, we have Romy on. So, obviously my performer of the episode is going to be David James Elliott because uh
Oh, I loved it.
let's try to trick you. Romy, but you know what? We love you. You know I love you, Romy. But for this episode, I have to go with David James Elliott, who plays Wayne Cypress. And within the first 20 minutes of this episode, I cried like four separate times. It was just really emotional. And the reason why I chose him uh, was because there are scenes, where he says he's been out of the loop of his daughter's lives. And, you know, even the scene where he has a gun pointed to his head, he explains that, he failed his daughters. And he said that M won't save him and that he said, she'll be glad I'm gone. And that just really touched me. And I didn't have a great relationship with my dad. Uh, so seeing him in that way, and then seeing him, sort of reconnect with Dana, and then also, he felt bad that he was left out. He didn't know that his daughter died. He didn't know that his daughter was a reviver, and I felt bad for him. And yeah, I love that he can do comedy and he can do like emotional scenes, and uh yeah, no, those his scenes in this episode was really touched me, and yeah, so that my performance episode.
I would have to agree with you. He was also my performer of the episode, specifically for that scene with General Kale when he's on the ground with the gun to his face. Um, I think the part where he's like, "They hate me." Um, I don't know. I'm not a parent, obviously not a father. Um, and I had a good relationship with my dad, but there is something about that, and I think just seeing him for the first time really get emotional, uh, and it took a long time to get there. This is episode 7, but it was really a breakthrough moment for him as a character. But I also want to say, Romy, you were my runner-up for the episode because of the scene when you were going into the water, and that single tear. But I also want to know, how cold is that water?
Freezing.
I had a feeling.
That was crazy. I'm so glad you asked because I haven't been able to talk about it yet. Also, I love all this DJE love. I think he really deserves it at this point, and I've I know a lot of people have had a hard time coming to terms with Wayne, but I think this episode will really give them an insight. And not everyone, you don't always understand everyone right away, and his story shows that. But the water was very cold, and I was wearing a wetsuit underneath,
Good.
and the wetsuit wasn't properly fitting the water, so every time they'd just pour hot water down my wetsuit. And the underwater stuff, I will say, was not shot underwater in the creek. That was done in a kiddie pool elsewhere, or like a big pool somewhere else. And I have a lot of really fun BTS from this one because I got to chill in a hot tub for a little bit of the day, and it had a rubber ducky in it.
Nice.
But I also did have Andy there for moral support and our incredible stunt team.
Christina brought up the water. I have a question too. Like earlier in the episode, you drank something out of that vial, the Moore Creek water. What was that made of and what did it taste like?
Good question. It tasted interesting. What was it is a really good. I don't really know. It was a green juice from, I think, any smoothie shop. Might have been Booster Juice if they have that in New Brunswick. Love Booster Juice. I am allergic to 3 different things that couldn't be used in it, which was kiwi, pineapple, and then I am, like, fake allergic to banana. It's a very weird situation.
I hate banana, so you're good.
You too?
I hate it, so I'll just go with, like, I'll just say I'm allergic so it doesn't have it in it.
Oh, I'm severely allergic to banana. Like, it makes my throat itch really bad and my throat swell up. I also
Where
can't stand the smell or taste of it. So, yeah.
I don't know. It just, like, I don't feel good after bananas, so I asked them, but I think I was gonna say I think it did have a bit of banana in it because I did say if they have to use it for a smoothie, it was fine because I know that it's used in a lot of smoothie bases. I just can't actually have kiwi and pineapple, but I think that there was green apple in there. Anything green you could think of. I think there was spinach, kale. So basically green apple, spinach, kale, banana, and, like, lemon juice, I wanna say, because the real taste was that I'm up. This is a real response. Honestly, I'll give you guys a little bit of fun scoop that I'm sure you've heard from other actors, but most things you're eating or drinking on TV don't taste nearly as good as they look ever, ever.
But the donuts are real, though, at least, right?
Those are real and those are really good. Except I will say I didn't know because somebody asked me after episode 1. I did eat so many donuts in the car with Mel, when I was biting them because we were doing the whole scene. And I asked Mel after, I was like, "How do you still like donuts?" Because I was a bit done after that day. And then she told me she got through a lot of days with a lot of donuts, and then also there were some times where you're able to spit out food when you're filming too. It just depends on the scene.
Yeah, Winona Earp definitely had a lot of donuts, so I'm sure she was well trained for this.
I'll actually tell you also, because it's in this episode, that Mel ate too many Pop-Tarts. She said she ate too many Pop-Tarts that day. And now I've been waiting to see it in the show, because when she told me that, I was like, "Where are you getting Pop-Tarts from?" What girl? On on camera. I was like, "Oh." So I've been waiting to watch it, so I felt for her when watching this episode, but she said she ate a lot of them because she didn't have them a lot when she was a kid. So that's some insider scoop on Mel.
I wonder if that's why in the scene she like passes the Pop-Tart over to Mai. That would be really funny if she's like, "I'm just gonna ad-lib this part. You can have it."
Done.
Hey, Romy, do you have a favorite performer of this episode?
Um, I mean, I do wanna acknowledge that Mel is Mel and just really carries the show, and she is phenomenal, and every episode is her episode. And then in this episode, I do wanna say the same about David James Elliott. I think it's just such a win. I feel like people are very misunderstood, especially people who have a bit of a hard front, and it's kind of like a hard apple that's bruised in the middle. And I think we're learning a lot. It doesn't maybe excuse a lot of his behavior, but it explains a lot of his behavior. And I think that David just does a wonderful job of being extremely vulnerable in this and showing the honest truth of uh, kind of like, I'm not a parent, I don't understand, but I can't imagine it's easy being responsible for other people's lives. I mean, when I take care of my sister's dog, I'm already feel like a lot of pressure. So, humans that you're in charge of, I can't imagine what he'd been through. And then I also want to give a shout out to Andy McQueen because I think that he was also really awesome. And just as a scene partner, maybe selfishly, I just loved working with him. We didn't always get to work a lot together this season, and he was my first friend that I made on set, actually. He was the first person I met, and, I just think he's incredible, and I also wanna acknowledge his and David and Mel, of course. We see it in every episode with Mel, her range, but David's range of going to this emotional place this episode was incredible, and Andy too, like, we got to see a really, really sensitive, deep side of Ibrahim, and this care for not only I think this care that he's starting to build for M as well, and this, paternal instinct, so I think it's very special. And then I know I just can't choose favorites. I just want to say that like everyone else in the episode was awesome too. Like I know we only saw spurts of them, but General Kale, Dr. Carla, Miles, every time Miles is on screen, I just like also Diane Delish. Like that storyline crushes me every time. And Wanda, who's played by Marsha. So Bennett, who's just so wonderful. So I just want to say, like, I think I know I'm biased, but our cast is just so wonderful. And I feel so lucky that I get to learn from all of these people every single day on set and then watch them. And it's sometimes hard to watch a show that you're a part of, to be honest. I'm not a fan of watching myself all the time, but to watch these people that I know so well, but I don't feel like I'm watching them is a whole other level of talent that goes to show. So our cast is incredible. Stephen Ogg also, oh my goodness, how could I forget? This is also a huge episode for Blaine, so everyone crushed it. I have a hard time choosing favorites.
Yeah, you guys really struck gold with the cast of the show. It's amazing.
I got very lucky that I got to learn from. I honestly said this all the time, but just every day on set was a masterclass. And somebody kind of gave me the heads up before. My agent is a really big Melanie fan and sent me an email being like, "You are getting a master class." And I was like, "I know, trust me." And then I was like, David, James Elliott, Andy McQueen, Stephen Ogg, and there was a day that I was with all of them and they were just standing in front of me and I was like, is it appropriate for me to pull out a notebook and write some notes maybe on what I'm learning? But it was just really awesome. But it was David and Andy's episode, truly.
To be honest, I'm like in the same boat as Romy. I couldn't really pick a favorite. I kind of narrowed it down to 2 pairs of actors based on my favorite scenes. So you, Romy, and Andy in the scene at the creek, and then Melanie and David when they're at Dana's house. I just think between the 4 of you, you play off of each other so well. And we saw different sides of each character, I think, in this episode within those interactions. And so, yeah, I couldn't narrow it down further than that.
Makes me feel better. Okay, my who said it is, it's amazing what people will share when you promise them safety.
No. Took me a second.
I think I got it. Okay.
I did try to choose a bit of a harder one. I do have to be honest. So it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Do you think you have it, Rowell?
Okay. I think it is. I don't want to get his. Is it Mayor Dillish? Is that his last name? Mayor something? It's like, doesn't he rat on someone and then so he says, "Oh, it's that quote." So okay, if it's not him, I have no idea who it is.
Really good gut feeling though, and when we say who said it, I will give you all the credit as to why it's a good gut feeling too.
You want me to go?
You go for it.
I think it's General Kale. About ratting about and being a reviver.
Yes. She's talking about protecting Dillish, so it's definitely in the right world for sure, and it is about Dillish, so yes. But I thought that one was kind of crazy to be thrown in Wayne's face like that, but I also think we saw it coming when he didn't help Diane at the beginning. We knew that something was a bit off with Dillish and Wayne. Still don't really know what. What's their beef? What's their beef is what somebody asked me recently, and I liked that. I was like, good question. But I thought that was very interesting insight, and General Kale did make a good point, and I do think it goes to show that we sometimes are weaker when we need to do it for the people we love.
I like that, and I would agree with it. Our loved ones are always our soft spot, so.
Always.
Yeah. All right. So with that said, my recap of this episode is going to be up on PopWire. You can click the link below to read that and all of our other revival coverage there.
Romy, are you able to give us sort of a teaser for episode 8 and what's to come for the rest of the season?
Ooh, Okay, teaser for episode 8. Answers. Answers and some very unexpected turns. That's my teaser for you. But I do think a lot of people will be getting some answers that they've been asking themselves for 8 episodes, and I think you might have a few more questions by the end of the episode. That's how I like to tease it. And for the rest of the season, the same goes. I think you're going to find a lot more heart, a lot more love, a lot more pain, and possibly hatred in between all of that. I just think all of the feelings that come with handling grief is what you'll really see throughout the rest of the season. And again, some answers, and Cypress love and chaos. I should also add chaos and blood. Why not?
Anyone of you guys have anything else to say before we go?
Thank you so much for having me. That's all I want to say. I had the best time. I expected to have the best time, but you all made me feel very comfortable and welcome off the bat, and I really appreciate it. And I really, really, really appreciate the support. It means a lot.
We appreciate you sharing your time with us too. And your talents. You've shared your talents.
All right, everyone. Well, Revival airs Thursdays at 10/9 Central on SYFY, and episodes are available to stream on Peacock the week after they air on SYFY. Follow PopWire.net on all social platforms. And also, if you're not following Romy, I'm going to put her socials in the description below. And get her more followers on X. She just joined X a few weeks ago. And yeah, join her on this. Romy Weltman, I believe.
Row is my nickname. That's why I'm a lot.
Okay. All right. Thanks everyone for watching. My name is Rowell.
I'm Christina.
And Dani?
I'm Romy, also known as Em.
We will see you next week.
Very big moments.
reset.
Big moment of
Everyone
serious.
take a second.
I'm gonna take a little sip of water. Mouth is really dry.
Yeah.